This just incredible. Cordarrelle Patterson is now the NFL kickoff king. The Falcons star with a 103-yard kickoff return, and now the all-time record for kickoff TDs got 9. It was his first return touchdown since 2020. Congrats, that is a great accomplishment. Meantime, the NFL pays a visit to Mexico City tonight when the Niners and Cardinals meet on Monday Night Football. San Fran could tie the Seahawks to the top of the NFC West with a win. Meanwhile, the shorthanded Cardinals are trying to keep their fading playoff chances alive. Niners, and people saw this one coming, right? Like, once Jimmy G took over, Niners had the second best odds to win the NFC behind the 9-1 Eagles. They've won 2 straight, could overtake Seattle for first place in the West with a win tonight, or today, do their head-to-head win over Seahawks earlier this season. Tonight. Could have said tonight. I could have just left it at tonight. It's tonight. And it's time for another edition of My Word Against Yours. Are the Niners, in fact, the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC? Louis, let's start with you.
There is no question that they are. This is a football team that is on the upswing as far as getting all their people back. Really, Eric Armstead is really the last guy standing that they feel as though will be healthy going down the stretch. But on defense, their front four can absolutely just wreck everything that you're trying to do, run and pass. They've got their linebacker quarterback healthy now with Dre Greenlaw and Azeez Al-Shire back. On the offensive side, you know Debo is trending up. Elijah Mitchell is back. They have Christian McCaffrey now. Brandon Ayuk is hitting his stride. Look, Trent Williams is healthy. This team plays the kind of football that no team wants to go up against at this time of year. They absolutely play bully ball. That's what they do. That's what their entire mentality is on both sides of the ball. That's what wins at this time of year. I'm telling you, as long as Jimmy G does not turn it over to the other team, this football team is the exact one in the NFC you don't want anything to do with at this time of year.
What do you think, Mike T?
I like the 49ers a lot, but I like the Cowboys even better. We just talked about them. When they're firing on all cylinders like they did yesterday, they're going to be impossible to beat because they can pass to score, they can run to win, as we're watching Tony Pollard do here. And then defensively, look, their run defense needs to be better. We know that. But their front seven, as good as San Francisco's is, theirs is even better. And they have the ability to turn the ball over in their secondary. So when you look at all 3 levels of their defense and the ability to score consistently, I think they are by far the biggest threat to the Eagles. Now, I wish they had one more element on the outside. That's not perfect, but the way they played yesterday, again, they're going to be really hard to beat.
See, I disagree with both of you. I think the biggest threat, when I sit down and think, okay, the playoffs are starting, and here are the matchups, I think it's the Bucs. And I think we got off the Bucs because Brady looked so old, right? The offensive line looked a mess, and it was because there was a tremendous amount of turnover all over the interior of the line. So they couldn't block for the run. They couldn't protect Brady, and Brady just looked old and creaky. But a lot of that was he was going through some personal stuff. And a lot of the interior offensive line play is new guys playing together. Sometimes it takes them a half a season to get to know each other a little bit. And I think if they can just reach that tipping point, and they may be approaching it already, where they can keep Brady upright and the run game can be good enough. You look at this Bucs roster, there's a reason so many people liked them in the beginning of the season. I just think when it comes down to it, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. Because they're all on talented teams to one degree or another. Give me Tom Brady.
You know why I say that? Dallas's quarterback is getting better. Tampa's quarterback's getting older.
I'll take Brady. You can have Dak. What's up, Louis?
You know what? I understand why people want to pick these 2 teams, being Dallas and Tampa Bay, or even Philadelphia for that matter, because they believe, well, Jimmy Garoppolo is the albatross around San Francisco's neck. Remember, this is a football team that has been there and that has been there in the biggest of moments with Jimmy Garoppolo. Could have won a Super Bowl 3 years ago had Jimmy Garoppolo made one more throw. Just one more throw. Okay? And offensively now at this time of year, I know we keep saying, well, Dallas needs to fix their run defense, but they can rush the pass. Well, I'll tell you this. They won't be able to rush the passer if they can't get the 3rd down. And against San Francisco, if I'm San Francisco right now with that wide zone running attack that they have, I'm going, please let us line up against Dallas. Please let us just play this team one time. They'll run for over 250 yards against that team.
It's true about Garoppolo. One throw away. Brady's won 2 Super Bowls, one with 2 different franchises, 2 different coaches in that same time. Super Bowls. Lisa Salters is always on the scene for Monday Night Football, joining us from Mexico City, where the NFC West has headed south. Lisa, Estadio Azteca hosting its 5th NFL regular season game, and it presents a challenge as the highest altitude stadium ever for an NFL game. How have the Niners, who are basically at sea level usually, prepared for this?
Yeah, Max, well, the 49ers opted to spend the week in Colorado Springs training at the Air Force Academy there, which is about 6,800 feet above sea level, close to the 7,200 feet that we are at now here at Estadio Azteca. Kyle Shanahan said it seemed like a good idea until the team got to Colorado and were faced with below freezing temperatures for their first practice on Thursday. Players have admitted that, yes, they were a little bit soft about the weather that day, but they all agree that the altitude training should help them tonight. For Christian McCaffrey, this will be his 4th game as a 49er, and he's only played in 56% of their offensive snaps in his 3 games, but he's still had 288 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns. He's also thrown a touchdown pass. Jimmy Garoppolo told us what has impressed him most is how quickly McCaffrey has learned the playbook. McCaffrey told me he's tried not to put too many expectations on himself with his new team. He said, thanks to the coaches, he's been able to successfully cram as much as he can over the last few weeks. But he said for him, it's not so much about his numbers, but about what he sees on tape after each game. He said his goal is to grade highly every week, down to the nitty-gritty details.
Man, when him and Saquon are healthy, like he's a little pocket Saquon, but even better in the passing game. He's just putting your eyeballs on him. That guy is so athletic. Both Arizona quarterbacks were on the injury report this week. Colt McCoy made it off, but Kyler Murray, Lisa, is still on there, questionable for tonight. What can you tell us about the Cards quarterback?
Yeah, it looks like Colt McCoy will likely be getting his 2nd consecutive start tonight, with Kyler Murray still dealing with that hamstring issue. And when called to action, McCoy is 3-1 over the last 2 seasons, filling in for Murray. He had 238 passing yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions last week in the win over the Rams. And he beat the 49ers last season on the road. What the Cardinals say they like about having the 13-year vet under center is that he gets the ball out quickly and he's accurate. 2 things that Cliff Kingsbury said they're going to need to do tonight. The 49ers defense entered the week allowing a league low 281 yards a game. And one player who might benefit with McCoy getting the start, A.J. Green, who entered last week with just 10 receptions and 0 touchdowns on the season. He had 2 key grabs against the Rams last week, including his first touchdown of the season. Green told me he's excited to be playing with McCoy because he says he reminds him of Andy Dalton. With Andy, Green said, I just had to be in the right spot and the ball's going to be there. He said, now I just have to be in the right spot for Colt McCoy.
Thank you, Lisa, as always. This just incoming. This fan, look at this. Running onto the field, made the wrong choice. The security guard not having it. That might be the hit of the weekend, Mike T. What do you think of the form?
The way your Giants are running out of players, I mean, this could be a great free agent pickup here.
Sign that guy up. Louis, what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. Look, man, stay off the field. Because if not, that's what you get. That's beautiful.
Wait, can I ask, why do we want people to stay off the field? This is the best video we get every week, is this. What do you mean stay off the field? Go on the field.
Where's the 15-yard penalty for excessive roughness on the second hit?
Yo, these dudes, they tackle.